Tonight, it's a challenge in California. That's tonight, the Caswell Class Company Series, a part of the Mystic Racing League. Kids racing at what is now the original Irwindale Speedway. Tonight, it's the MX Wraps by Maddox Graphics 250, and it's here on Green Flag TV. Good evening, everyone. I'm Justin Prince. Alongside me in the booth for tonight is Jacob Kohler. Howie Burrows will move to the production spot for this evening's coverage as we get ready to go racing for 250 laps. This is going to be wild, is I think the statement you can make, Jacob, because this track may be a open plot of land and eventually warehouses now, but in real life when they raced here, it was wild.
Yes, it absolutely was. That is a great, perfect one-word descriptor of this track, these little half-mile ovals. Anything is possible. Anything can happen with the lap count, with the stages being at the points that they are. I think we are going to have a great night tonight. Now, taking a look at the schedule, right, we are already 2 races into the season. We had the Milwaukee Mile last week, or a couple weeks ago, and then we had Portland the week before that. Now we park here at Irwindale, and I can tell you what, I am very, very, very excited to get this thing underway. It is going to be a great race. Today we've got 250 laps, 125 miles total. Stage 1 will end at lap 65. Stage 2 is going to end at lap 130. So that is going to be a long time to go without any guaranteed pit stops. Should see some nice green flag pit stop strategy in that second stage.
Tommy Ryan, in turn, is your best driver to the point standings entering tonight. So far, 3 victories, 9 top 5s, and 10 top 10s. Better than everybody else in every category. Colin Bollinger, the highest of the open drivers, dropped the spot behind River Hayes in the standings entering tonight. Now, of note, Morgan Cook will not be in the driver's seat tonight. He was 5th in points. It was announced today that he's now the race director for this series here, Jacob. The co-announcer of the Cup Series broadcast will now be overseeing tonight's calls.
That is very, very interesting, and we should see that develop in the way that this is going to work. Speaking of standings, let's take a look at the team standings. Unacceptable Racing has a 587-point total. Tommy Ryan definitely putting in the work for that team. Accelerated Motorsports, the closest with 525. Going to be very important for these.
Indeed, here, as we continue on with the coverage in turn, these drivers are going to have an interesting night to find out how we see these team standings shake up. Drivers are in the midst of final practice at the moment. Normally, they finish things up early in terms of the warm-up session, but tonight, with the new man in town, they are going to give all the drivers as much experience as they can on the racetrack. In turn, Jacob, here tonight, important to mention, they are going to monitor pit road because there are various ways where drivers could potentially get in front of those who stay out. Race controls already made it clear that anybody who pits must make sure they're blended behind the air cars. Tommy Ryan will be the first car on the grid tonight, with Tyler Stevenson in second, JP Phillips and Colin Bollinger in the top 4. As you'll see some of the O's tonight, that means open car. Chris Romano will start in the 5th spot here tonight, and with Gavin Hinson in the 6th position. Then we turn to the rest of the top 10. Zach Davidson, Noah Hubbard with River Hayes, and Derek Jewett in your top 10, Jacob.
Yep, Jeff Ryan in that 3 car is going to be bringing up our 11th spot, with Jacob Cochran in the 88 bringing up 12th with an 18.531. Going down to 13th and 14th, you got the 48 of Adam Holston and the 27 of Christian Barnes. 15th and 16th, Zachary King in the 1, and Caleb Hunt in the 19. In the 17th and 18th, we've got 7 Hawthorne and Reggie Kime. And then bringing up our final 2 of the top 20, we've got Matthew Gary in that Uncharted 91 car, and Dave Billings in that 14 car with an 18.772.
Still about half a second off the pole. Zach White 21st, Brandon Warren in 22nd, with Steve and Addison and Ryan Pelfrey down 23rd, 24th. Coy Banky will start 25th, with Douglas Wysocki down in 26th here tonight. Look, talk to bottom about your running over here tonight as we get set to go for 250 laps. You mentioned the stage distance. They only have 60% fuel tonight, keep in mind. With that being considered, what are your keys to victory, Jacob, as we get ready to go racing for a long night?
Got 2 words for you. Tire management. These long slugfests on short tracks, you are going to need those tires late in the stages if you want to be able to get all of the points that you can possibly get. You want to be able to get in front, stay in front late. The key to that is going to be managing tires. You also said they'd only have about 60% fuel. You got to watch that fuel gauge. If you're not careful, you're going to run yourself out of gas at the worst possible moment. Conserve your equipment, stay out of trouble, and find yourself in a good spot late. We're going to see these guys come off of the line, get in formation. Justin, let me tell you, I'm super excited to see this race here tonight. Looks like we've got the 99 on the outside here. Is that going to be the favorable line going into turn 1 there?
Possibly. I've seen a lot of people in final practice trying the higher grooves here at Irwindale. Know some people, when it came to when they raced here in officials, when it was popular with the rookie series, used to just wrap the bottom of the circuit. It's going to be interesting where the power band will be. Who do you think is your favorite for tonight based on your experience in the past with some of these drivers?
I tell you what, I don't have a particular favorite. I think that this is pretty open season on this track. Pretty much everybody's got an equal shot to win this thing. But I will say it is going to be whoever is not afraid to throw some elbows, right? This is a short track. These cars are durable. These cars are tough. You got to use them to move some other people out of the way, if you will. So whoever throws the most elbows is most likely going to find themselves in a pretty decent spot when the checkered flag flies. But that's just my personal opinion. That's what these kind of tracks are made for, after all.
Should have one more pace lap here before we get rolling. We have 3 total set for tonight's festivities. Just about ready to go for tonight. Tommy Ryan has looked phenomenal this season. Can he keep it going tonight? 99 will start out with the front row, as we said, with Stevenson looking to provide pressure immediately. As we're happy to have you with us for tonight's coverage of the Mystic Racing League and the Caswell Glass Company Series here tonight. Pace car is off. Field in the hands of the 99 of Rhine. A showdown in Irwindale, California. Green flag is out. We're underway from Irwindale.
Look at that, Stevenson already on the bottom. He was able to get the jump on the restart, and he is going to be flying out to the front to start this thing as the field fans out behind him. Got to keep it off that outside wall. That high line is super dangerous. Got to manage that throttle, or else you're going to find yourself lacking real quick.
River Hayes wants those that went to the low side of the very back, but side by side up at the front. First lap does go to Ryan. Trouble for Stevenson. He got loose. Here comes Bollinger.
Looks like that 8 car 32 is going to be able to get to the bottom as well. This is going to shake up the top 5 for sure, and that's what I was saying. You got to manage that throttle, or else you're going to find yourself in the wall and falling behind really, really quick. I don't know who that was down at the bottom, but they are pulling that thing on the white line. My goodness.
River Hayes is amongst those really aggressive down there as Seppin Hawthorne comes out of pit road, running part-time this season. And that's the thing that's going to be interesting. Will the 81 find something different? Because every other car, for the most part, is staying above those hash marks, up along the wall, or at least a lane or two down from it. Even Hayes just moved up a groove, as you see him right on behind. Hubbard amongst those with troubles on the outside. Romano trying to round the bottom.
Oh, we've got 2 in the wall back there. They're going to be 3 wide coming off of turn 1. We've got ourselves our first caution of the night. Reggie Kine around. He is able to get it back moving, so we should be back underway here very shortly. We will do our best to get a replay for that as soon as we can. Let's take a look at what happened to Reggie Kine.
Yeah, and it starts with Zach White getting loose into the corner, checks everything up, but Zach White got into him. Yeah.
Wow. He just bodied him right there. And he is able to luckily just lock it down. He does the right thing. You know, it's very tempting to try and save it in that situation, but a lot of times that only ends up making it worse. You can see going into this corner, Zachary King got into the wall before. He is able to, oh man, just barely lose it, and he is going to have himself a considerable amount of right front damage. As a result, the other car behind him also taking a lot of damage getting into the wall before the corner.
So, just like that, under yellow for the first time, as I think there's technical issues for Seppin Hawthorne because he just parked on the racetrack. All while the rest of the leaders get going. So Hawthorne, who started from pit road, is obviously having issues going on. Reggie Kime does come down pit road. So here's the challenging part. We already seen how difficult it may be a little bit to pass and get it done cleanly here tonight. How would you get the job done to make these moves if you are up at the front or wanting to get to the front.
If you're wanting to get to the front, any means possible and or necessary. You got to be willing to go high, go low, in the middle, run over people, run through people. It is something that you have to take if you want it, and that is what short track racing is all about, and you saw it right there. Sometimes, you can't overdo it just a little bit. Some people would definitely make that argument as well, but if I'm wanting to get out front and stay out front, it's like I was talking about earlier, right? Managing that equipment. That's what Tommy Ryan is thinking right now. He's thinking, how do I put as little wear on these tires as possible, stay out of trouble as much as possible, and hopefully we can have this thing in enough of one piece to be able to have a good shot come the white flag.
Got to be careful with the choose here tonight. Keep in mind there is a small little bit of pavement that's going to decide where the choose box is. They just extended the caution because at least half the field still hasn't even chosen yet. So a few drivers are going to have to be very careful in that choose zone. Everyone is being told the choose was exceptional. So we're already getting a lot of positivity in that regard, but Tommy Ryan chose the top again.
Yep, and the pace car lights are out from the looks of it. Looks like we'll be getting underway after this pace lap, and these guys, they are chomping at the bit, getting ready to go. We are already 10 laps through this 250-lap race. It is going to be a great night here. It's going to be a little bit rough around the edges, but that is short track racing after all. And you can see that 32 is looking to the inside. He might try to take the lead going into this first corner.
Let's find out how quickly this goes. JP Phillips, we've seen how good the inside got a jump initially, but that was with an equal start. Phillips is not lined up with Ryan at all. Green is out, Ryan is clear, but Phillips, he just got an opportunity, if he can, to slide up. They both moved up the wall. Up the track goes Ryan. Here comes Phillips with a roll into 3.
Here he comes, JP Phillips. He's got to hold it down there on the bottom. Ryan's got to try and be careful on that throttle, make sure he doesn't get in the wall. They are having an all-out melee behind him. That 39 car was in the middle of 3 wide there for a second. That looked dangerous.
A little bit sketchy yet again with some of these maneuvers as everyone works their way through. JP Phillips now the race leader. Caution flag is out again. And it's at the back, and it's a melee. Wilward involved. Zach White again involved. Ooh. And we have a parking lot with Matthew Gray as well.
Yep, Matthew Gary in that 91 car. He is going to go immediately over to pit road with Hawthorne. Going to try and get a replay, see what happened here. It looked like, we just thought he was clear, tried to rip top. The 19 was there, and he gets unceremoniously collected in a multi-car wreck. Looked like the 54 and the 21, it looked like were involved there. Yeah, you just hate to see it. He's on the bottom. He's trying to manage his throttle. That 01 comes down, maybe scares him a bit, thinks he's clear, and just, right into the wall he goes. A little bit of damage on the front of the 77 who got collected, and damage on the left front of the 12 as well. Damn, not a very great start for that 91 car.
Definitely not, and that's why he is now down pit road with the tow. Zach White also lost the TV panel of the rear end of his machine with heavy damage, but it may get interesting how you choose from here on out because 2 starts, 1 restart of those 2. Inside both times has gotten the better run here, Jacob. So do you see the 32 taking the inside? Because the outside's not working out the jump.
I mean, maybe. I think Tommy Ryan's thought process here, and just the leader's thought process here with choosing the outside, the thing that puts a lot of wear on the tires, this is especially true in real life as well as in iRacing, is when you move up the track, right? When you move up the track after clearing somebody, that puts a lot of stress on those tires. So I think they're just going high by default to maybe try and avoid that, but it looks like JP Phillips, he wants to win this thing, and he wants to stay out front, so he's going to go ahead and elect to go to the inside, along with Tyler J. Stevenson. And that will be rounding out those first 2 rows.
So we will see everybody get the extension likely at precaution period because, again, this is such a small track that to get everyone into the choose and caught up to the field is the key thing here, too. You have to be able to get everyone compressed. You see the back half of the field is not connected yet, so we will see these extensions of an initial lap each time for those curious. But that in mind here with some of these competitors. River Hayes is now in the top 5 with all these restarts. one of the top short track racers. Only one win this season in this series. The Irwindale Motorsports machine did pick up some wins in some league races recently. And Slim Chickens Cup Series actions look solid, including at Bristol. We see that 81 join the fray in a moment. Let's find out, because we're all set to go for the green. Phillips now has the chance to control the launch after not getting the initial jump from the inside when it was Ryan in control. Inside is clear. Green flag is out. We're back underway.
Here we go, barreling into that first corner. He's going to like to try and stay in the middle of it as much as he can. We might see River Hayes go back down to the bottom, try and rip that white line some more. Stevenson now to the inside of Ryan. He is going to go ahead and try and take the position. Might clear him here. Ryan gets on the throttle faster, across the line again, and we are back here at Irwindale Speedway.
And you can just see how much some of the roll is starting to work a little bit with that little bit of the difference in the corner. Right now, Stevenson just trying to run a lane or two lower, able to get to the gas quicker. Bollinger amongst those under pressure. He's already got damage to the rear end. He's been hit from some of the contact. All while Hubbard is joining on the outside. You see that in the backdrop of the top four. Stevenson trying to hold on for second.
Looks like he's going to try. He's got to get all the way down there to the bottom. He has the bumper on the inside. Stevenson, as they cross the line, barreling into turn one. He's going to put his car on the bottom again. Now Ryan looking to the outside. He is going to elect to stay back for now, but Stevenson looks like he wants this lead. However, Phillips is not going to give it up without a fight.
Warning over the radio, Derek Jewett, connection issues that told him to move out of the racing groove. So that's something to watch for. 3 wide for a moment as Ryan's to the outside of Stevenson. Phillips able to clear. But Ryan is looking for the run. A little squeeze back now from the outside. They are uber aggressive here. We still have about 40-plus laps to go on the stage.
Yep, it is nowhere near over, but don't tell a race car driver that he can't try and pass somebody. If there's a car, I'm going to try and get past it. That is what he is telling himself right here. And another momentary scrape against the wall for Noah Hubbard. That has been a recurring pattern all day long so far. People just trying to manage that throttle, being unable to keep it out of that wall. J.P. Phillips now a 3/10 lead over Tommy Ryan as Tyler J. Stevenson gets back down to the bottom again. River Hayes right behind.
Yeah, you see just how much things are going on for Hayes, trying a different line again. Look at that slide down for the inside, trying to cover things off. But again, it seems to be solid, but it's not enough to actually make the pass per se, Jacob, with that Hardy cut off the corner with the diamond line, if you will.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to stop him from trying. He's still got to try and get by him. And as they continue to fight, J.P. Phillips is going to keep running away, and he is just going to keep getting further and further as the 98, 99, and 4 continue to fight here to go on board for Colin Bollinger. And he is getting a front row seat for all of this. Man, look at that. That is absolutely insane. Not a group of cars you want to be in the middle of. Space is definitely leaves a lot to be desired as River Hayes slides up the track. 8 gives him a little bit of a shove, and it is looking... Oh, he's in the wall! Oh, the 8 goes around! Can he save it? He does save it! An incredible save from Colin Bollinger. The yellow does come out. And that is going to slow things down a lot. Man, we got front row seats for that. That was incredible. We're going to go ahead and see what it looked like from the outside here. He gets into the wall just a little bit, and he's going to... Oh, he's already got that rear end damage, too. He manages to keep it together. 27 slides right under him. Man, that is some great driving from Colin Bollinger. What a wheelman.
Race control expected that to be a spin around, they said. That's why they threw the caution. That's how good of a job the 8 did to save the machine. That could have been very bad very quickly. But now that loses Bollinger all the track position as a result. Eventually, somebody's going to have to pit for tires here. Do you see that? No EOL going to be coming up for the 8 hearing with that situation. But back to the question at hand here, do you eventually say, let's try tires? Bollinger, of course, has to, but some of the others in the back are.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm. It depends on where I'm at in the field. If you're already down in outside of the top 20, I mean, you don't really have anything to lose. You might as well try and put yourself on better equipment for the end of the stage here. But we're only halfway done with the first stage. It's entirely possible these guys could make it to the end without pitting. So if I'm at the front of the field, I'm not so sure about pitting. And if I do, it's for 2 tires max. But if I'm at the back, 4 fresh tires doesn't sound like a bad idea. We'll have to see how these teams react to this.
So, for the most part, all the stops are at the back. A majority of those have damage. As you see, chooses this time by for the field. Outside, taken again for the 99, inside for the 32 as we get ready for the restart. Romano and Hubbard are going to start 3rd and 4. 2 drivers we haven't seen too much of towards the front coming into tonight.
Yep, Chris Romano on the bottom. If J.P. Phillips gets a great launch, and Tommy Ryan can't match, he might lose that second place spot to Chris Romano as they come into turn 4. We'll just have to see how it all shakes out.
First start of the season for the 92 of Romano in this series. Herein, there was a choose violation for Brandon Willard. He's been sent to the tail either way. He was at the back running 24th. But this is the type of race where we might see a little bit of different challengers. Derek Jewett, final warning for technical issues has popped up for the 45. They may park the 45. It is that severe. But we'll see the restart this time. Coming up to start lap 33. Phillips, ready to launch. Gets it. Green is out, backing away.
Yep, and he got a great launch that time, and the 92 comparatively did not get such a great launch. He's going to have to try and make up that space on wheeling alone, and something might be wrong with that 92 car. He looks awfully slow. River Hayes down to the bottom, 3 wide with Stevenson on the outside. That 92 car is slow, could potentially have a problem. They're 4 wide back there. Look at that, my goodness.
I mean, what can you say? His car says he's the ideal pest. Well, it's because the sponsor's the Ideal Pest Management Company, and right now he's just trying to hold well as he can on the line. Second spot, Hubbard going forward on the line. No, the 99 able to get the edge for at least the start and finish line, but Hubbard's got the rotation down because Ryan keeps missing the cushion.
They made contact there for a second. It is getting bloody out here. And they might make more contact. Look at that. They are getting very, very close on those corners. Ryan is going to get by the 4, and now we'll attempt to try and chase down that 32 car, who has been absolutely undominable here today.
Yeah, it's been a good start for, you could say, the 32 and the 99, but River Hayes, his outside line, or rather his bottom line not working out there. Some of the others, like Bollinger, just trying to make up some spots here. A little bit fresher Goodyear Eagles on green flag laps. Has Jacob Cochran next to him. Cochran in his starts has been solid, remember. He's 19th in the points on just 4 starts.
Right. Yep. Looks like the teams, keep in mind, you're only going to get about 5 tire changes in this race. You do have to time them pretty well. I mean, the equipment with how many caution laps we've been running is definitely not in a dire state for anybody at the current moment, as River Hayes continues to rip that white line, trying to find some speed where no one else dares to go. Has been pretty successful for him so far. He's been in the top 10 for most of the day here, while the 4 and the 99 continue to battle it out at the front.
And right now, seems like for the most part, mostly single file all of a sudden. So it's, again, so important to get the pattern down to make sure you don't burn up your stuff. So how difficult is it to make sure you don't overcook your tires on a short track like this, and what's obviously a top feeder?
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you just kind of have to feel it out, right? See what the other cars are doing, see how your speed is in reference to them. If you know you have a slower car and you know you have a faster car, that definitely is going to play a factor in how you tell what state your equipment is in compared to the rest of the field. A lot of times you need help from a spotter or even from a crew chief, so it'll depend. A lot of times it depends on what you have at your disposal, but it is definitely one of those things that you kind of just have to feel the car talking to you. She'll tell you what she needs, you just got to listen.
Indeed, and keep in mind, there is not a lot of time here with what we've seen for the breathing, absolutely, in terms of gas to brake, gas to brake. Seeing, for the most part, everybody else just thinking, what can they do? You see some bobbles for some of the drivers back here. 3 wide because Jeff Ryan having issues off the last couple corners. He's now getting swarmed. Bollinger on the inside, Barnes on the outside.
Here we go. It is starting to get aggressive here, especially back here towards the back. There's definitely a clear divide in the pack here. And Jeff Ryan quickly collapsing through this field. He's got to try and get himself reset, get himself back in this race, make it up one car at a time.
Right now, Bollinger might have a shot at least to get most of his spots back here, but eventually there is one factor we obviously have to think about: lap traffic. For the most part, it's staying well together. Might not be a factor in the first stage, maybe even the second. There is one car, Steven Addison, that's just in front of the field. Second, going to pass by as Addison zips to the pit road, so that takes care of itself. When we get to that very lengthy third stage, that's going to be the biggest factor, is how these drivers are going to manage the leader zipping on by, because everybody's up here, and it's obviously going to put them at a disadvantage if they just move to the bottom, so you might get some heavy battling. Contact the wall there, hold on.
Man, they are leaving it all out here on the racetrack. I am absolutely digging this. We have got 13 laps to go in the stage before stage 1 is all said and done. It was Hubbard who got into the wall right there. Stevenson now chomping at his heels, trying to wait for him to make a mistake or even pressure him into one to try and get that third spot.
Yeah, you see him getting very loose a little bit on these entries and even exits. That car just dancing around. Hayes again trying something different. This continues to just bleed him spots, though, you can argue. Hayes just cannot get it done inside or outside on a pass. How frustrating is this for him?
Yeah, absolutely. When you've got a guy that you just cannot get past no matter what you are doing, that is extremely frustrating. You start getting tilted. You got to remember, stay calm, control your breathing. We still got 200 laps to go, right? This race is far from over. If you can't pass somebody on the track, you're going to have to pass them in pit strategy. So start thinking about what you want to do at this stage and here. Meanwhile, 10 laps to go in the stage as they cross the finish line this time. Looks like Chris Romano is going to go to the inside, and Tyler J. Stevenson won't get the position, but things are definitely getting dicey here as we got more cars in the wall back there. As the 8 goes down to the bottom, trying to make up those spots he lost when he turned sideways.
And right now just not getting him either. Look at that send.
Whoa.
Romano tried a shallow line. Even that didn't work. Do you eventually get physical here with some of these drivers? Risk getting everybody collected in it with the way things are getting impatience-wise?
I don't think you want to move anybody just yet. Like I said, we still got a lot of time left in this race, right? Now is definitely not the time to be just straight up moving people, but you give somebody a little kiss on the rear bumper, let them know you're there, you know, put a little bit of pressure on them. I don't see no harm in it, right? We'll just have to see how they decide they want to do this. If you're behind somebody for that long, I know it's frustrating and it makes you want to take them out, but remember, you know, you don't want to crash them, you just want to rattle the cage a bit.
Definitely say that a little bit with the way things are shaping up. So, all that being said, we're coming up this time through. This time at the stripe will be 10 to go on the stage. Bollinger alongside Hayes. Not yet on the move. The 8 is trying at the very least with the little advantage they have here with the extra tire change they've used. Compared to most of the field, the only other ones who've been down pit road. Zach Kane is in 12th. Zach White 17th. The others far down the order also. But even then, you can see Bollinger still, even with slightly fresher tires, still not enough to help because it's equalized out.
Yeah, at this point in the race, we've gone green for so long. It's all kind of just sitting at an equal spot. He looks like he is going to be able to just barely clear Hayes right here, but he's still going to be stuck on this bottom lane, right? Look, the 92 is right there now. The 92 pulls forward. That is going to give him the chance. And now Bollinger is going to go down to the bottom again here. He is burning up a lot of equipment, but he is making up a lot of time as the 92 got loose right there. And the time is ticking away. We got stage points on the line here. Looking like this one is going to be interesting. River Hayes might get a shot going 3 wide here.
Still nothing doing there. Bollinger, the only one really making the moves go to work. Look at the gap going, though. Ryan and Hubbard have pulled away from the others. The 4 to second. These two actually have built a small gap as Phillips has ran away in the clean air. So, Hubbard, with the way things are going, looking quicker at the end of the run. That might be interesting to watch for stage 3 especially.
Yep, it is looking very, very interesting. And look at Bollinger. He's all the way up into 4th. A man on a mission. He spun less than 30 laps ago, and now he is trying to take 3rd place, going down to the bottom on Tommy Ryan. He is absolutely moving through this field.
Bollinger going to have some good opportunities for points here with the strategy call. Well, 4th strategy call, if you will, here tonight. But with under 5 laps to go, here's the question. Can he get to Ryan and Hubbard? Don't think the lead is in range. By the way, Derek Jewett's connection did fail out on him. He did have issues with the session. He is trying to rejoin the race at the very least. He has currently scored 23rd ahead of 7 Hawthorne, who is still in the race. As we see the 8 close in.
Maybe he might try and take this position here from the 99, but I think if I was him, I would just kind of sit back. We got a long race ahead of us here with 3 laps to go in the stage. I don't think it's worth potentially crashing your race car to get one more spot for the stage here. Mentioning guys who are having trouble here today, the 12 and the 91 both out of today's race after that previous incident in which they were collected with the 54, and I can't remember the other car that was involved, but yeah, it is definitely already a few casualties, and that number is only going to go up as time goes on. River Hayes now to the bottom, trying to get past Tyler J. Stevenson as the green and white flags fly for the end of the stage.
It's going to be this time by, in fact, here as J.P. Phillips up ahead. Bollinger trying for 3rd. Is he going to send it one more time? He's going to try to get the inside working.
Oh.
Answer is no. It is Phillips, green, white, checkered, right before traffic. Hubbard, Ryan, Bollinger, followed by Hayes in the top 5. He also throws some of the others like Stevenson, Hinson, Romano, Holston, and Barnes in your top 10. And all of that seen, Hubbard again making an appearance in this series, looking fast in an open car. Let's see what happened to get him that pass initially.
He passes him trying to go around the outside here. I think the 99 just blew the corner, and that opened the door up top. And we know that top lane is definitely, by and large, the faster one, and he just manages the throttle perfectly. A little bit of contact, but nothing crazy. And he just drives right around him. Wow. Hubbard, multi-lap dogfight here. And he is going to get past him there, and that is how he was able to take 2nd place in the stage. Caution is now out. We've done 3 laps already. Guys are potentially going to come down pit road here. Very excited to see that.
Here's a look at the run-through once again. The difference was about 7 seconds at the line. Phillips, Hubbard, Ryan, Bollinger, Hayes in the top 5. Stevenson, Hinson, Romano, Holston, Barnes in your top 10. As expected, just about everyone down. We did not see Zach Kingpit interestingly enough. I think every other car decided to come down. As they go through the dust down pit road, we should see 4 tires be the name of the game. Bollinger even came down as well.
It looks like everybody is coming in for fresh equipment. The 92, oh, he missed getting into his pit stall. That is going to cost him a bunch of time and a bunch of track position, too, as cars are already moving. Who is going to win the battle off pit road? It is going to be the 32. The 99 barely in 3rd there, I think. And we've got it looks like the 32 is going to make his way, not into the lead, because King stayed out. Wow. As the 15 is also trying to make up his laps. At the current moment, I believe the lucky dog was the 14, I want to say. It was either the 14 or the 15. It was one of those two. But yeah, very interesting pit cycle here. Gonna see how it all shakes out.
And as some of the other cars get themselves sorted where they're supposed to be in the pit road dance, I don't know how that's going to work out for Kane, because he's already been in the wall, already had to get damage repairs done, and he's going to be on much older tires than everybody else here. This could get risky, and he is choosing the outside with a little bit of a later decision on the choose. Few cars getting close. 7 Hawthorne did have his penalties cleared because of his pit road sequence. But there are cars nearly stacking up, choosing where they want to choose here.
Yeah, the choose is always kind of the hardest part, especially for tracks like this where it is very difficult to pass. You want to start on that inside line. You want to have the advantage going into that first corner. But at the same time, you know, it's one of those places like where when I get past him, then what? You know what I mean? Places like this where it just feels like you have no room to breathe. It's very difficult to pass. This is definitely one of those harder decisions. And it looks like pace car is in. The caution flag is still out.
Oh, they're not even caught up to the pace car here. What are they doing?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think it's because the pace car for the extension actually went in. They caught some kerfluffle there. We'll try this again. Remember with the extension, that's going to happen each of the restarts. Zachary Kane just got a lacking sim. It will be cleared anyway. Kane, regardless of the gas, we had some issues off the restart behind, but everybody's immediately going to try to attack the one as they wrap the top.
Look at Cochran. You can't see it here, but Cochran already down there making it 3 wide in the back. King holding his own so far for having these rougher tires. We'll see how long he can keep this up. He's already got JP Phillips down to the inside. Cochran still the bottom of 3 wide, and he is going to try and rip that white line.
Here we go. Phillips made it easy. Gets the spot. Near contact to the battle for third. As those older tires are already showing their difference here of a couple tenths off the rip. Hubbard ready to attack. Bollinger already up to third spot. At this point, Hayes needs to find a hole. It does.
It looks like Hubbard is going to be able to just barely get by him. Look at Bollinger down there on the bottom. They're going to be 3 wide. King, I believe, scraping the wall, but it doesn't look like it's cost him too much time. Hayes down there on the bottom as well, daring to go where no other car will go to try and find as much speed as he can to get around this one car. And now that the 8, knowing that he has one of the faster cars in the field, is clear of this traffic, he is going to try and hunt down the 4.
Caution flag is out. It's Reggie Kime again.
Oh.
And it's a part of a parking lot. Some of the familiar names. Zach White involved. We had McCoy Banky also getting collected. I think it's partly because the 9 hit the wall. It is charged to the 9.
Oh, man. I think the 34 got into the 9 before that wreck. We'll see what happens. I think the 9 just barely scraped the wall as it starts. Yep, he scraped the wall going into the corner, so that is 100% on the 9 there. 34 and 77 victims, as well as, the 19 and the 15 taking some serious front-end damage as well. Man, that is rough.
Zach White, he's out of the race as a result of that one. He is done. This series does have a faster pair, but some of these drivers absolutely burning up some of them. Zachary Kane didn't like what he was feeling, I think, saying, I've got to come down anyway eventually for fuel. He's down now, and he's brought Chris Romano and Caleb Hunt also with him for stops.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. I mean, I think Zachary King is going to be the first one off of pit road here. That'll put him somewhere in, maybe just inside the top 20. Still not exactly sure where he is going to come out at, but moving our eyes back up to the front of the field. JP Phillips, that 32 car, has been unstoppable all day. Next man up, Noah Hubbard in the 4, and Colin Bollinger, who spun earlier in the race, now up into the top 3.
Here we go with the choose this time through. As a lot of people starting to choose the bottom now that they've noticed some of the patterns here. A lot of people, especially at the end of the top 10, doing so. Hubbard first to choose the outside for this upcoming restart. So, looking like a lot of people still having to catch up to the pace car. They did not extend the caution this time. Now they do. So they're going to extend one lap to make sure everyone's caught up, because at least 5 cars were not caught up to the back. So
there's not really a whole lot to say here, you know. I mean, these guys just got to try and keep themselves out of trouble. That's the main part. We'll see what the 4 is willing to do to take the lead here as they come around and take the green.
I know pretty quickly what they are willing to do here. Hubbard looking for a way to jump the 32 plate with the gears. Back on her way. Phillips clears again. But here comes River Hayes looking for second.
Man, listen to them cars go. That is a beautiful sound. Here comes River Hayes on the bottom. Super aggressive as they go back down the back straightaway. And he is trying his absolute hardest to take the lead here.
Digging hard, trying to battle hard to try to rip away the spot. But right now, Phillips is trying to get the bottom to work. Hayes thinking the very low side. Still side by side for the race lead as Hubbard sends it deep. Did he get it to stick enough? Possibly, yes. He's got enough to lead the lap, but does he have enough to clear on by?
Looks like JP Phillips. He's trying to pull alongside, but he just can't get on the throttle at the same time as Noah Hubbard. The 4 car takes the lead, and River Hayes is looking to take second.
Right now, Hayes, nothing to do for that spot. Has to go back in line. So Hubbard, new leader yet again, arises here tonight. And all of a sudden, the 4 in control. Look at the 39. That's Gavin Hinson, already wounded on the rear end. Not mattering all too much here tonight. He's getting loose, nearly spins it.
He does manage to keep it together, though. 39 of Gavin Hinson making his mark here at Irwindale Speedway. And it is still an absolute brawl here towards the middle of the pack. And nobody taken prisoners today as Cochran goes down to the bottom of 3 wide for just a second, elects to pull back. And it is getting absolutely bloody out there.
Yeah, some of these drivers getting a little bit more impatient as we just get going. So at the moment, everybody else just looking to rattle around and sort themselves quick. The first battle on track is outside the top 10 just about with Chris Barnes. Back around with Cochran. Oh, contact! Cochran just got into Stevenson. They're both spinning down the backstretch for the caution.
Yellow does come out. Cochran is slow, but he does manage to get it back moving. We'll take another look at what happened here. Looks like Cochran again down to the bottom of 3 wide, and he just slides up the track a little bit too much. Tags the 98. They come together, and he does manage to save it. Man, decent driving here. We're going to go through a quick replay back to the first time he sent it 3 wide. Uh-oh, looks like we had somebody else sideways there at the end of that last replay. Here's the restart from Cochran's perspective, starting from 18th. Looks like we are getting confirmed somebody does have a meatball flag. We're going to get to that here in a second. And the bottom lane just opens up, and he just takes it. What an absolutely insane move from Cochran. And the 92 is down there as well. I mean, if they're just going to give you that much racetrack, you might as well take it.
So this Romano, do you see the spin down to the bottom of the racetrack? Oh, big check up with the caution, and bam, Derek Jewett right alongside him.
Oh, that is rough. I don't know if he's used his fast repair yet, but now would certainly be the time as he right into the back of the 34. Saw the crash, I think just lost concentration, and that's one way to end the day.
So, we're back under yellow as a result. Looking at your pit stints, about 22 laps already on the sets. Romano the first to come down pit road for obvious reasons. Ryan, Hunt, Kime, and a few others who have gotten an incident came down. It's feeling more and more like, if you get track position, never give it up. Because that seems to be the case, because out of those up in front, outside of Hubbard and Hayes, mostly everyone in the top 6 or so have been drivers who stayed up front. Ryan Pelfrey is the exception in 8th, though, up 16. Coming up to choose this time by, your thoughts on how things are breaking down here, Jacob, as this is turned to a tough one, is here's the choose.
Oh, yes, these short tracks, always such slugfest, but each in their own unique way. This is feeling a lot races, people just the tires are falling apart and can't really nobody do anything about it. But I don't think that's quite what we're seeing here. I don't think it's just necessarily equipment degradation. People are getting impatient. People are getting stuck behind the same car for 5-10 laps in a row. Pace car is in. Now it's back out. Sorry, it looked like it went in there for a second. But yeah, things are definitely shaking out to be an interesting one.
So they'll see this again set up. Again, EOL, this caution went to the 88 for cause of yellow. That's why they will have themselves some time to challenge. We got challenges. We're ready to see how they go again.
At 32 on the bottom, he's been good there all day on these restarts. Might be able to take the lead back here.
Here we go. Hubbard ready to control this. Phillips looking to time it up. Backing away. Timing didn't work out at all. Inside didn't work at all for Phillips.
Man, look at the launch that 4-car got. We've got another one all the way down there to the bottom. Tyler J. Stevenson in the 98 trying to make him as much ground as possible. Ryan, who has been in the top 5 all day, now to the outside of J.P. Phillips. It is, you thought it was dogfight before. Now it's definitely a dogfight as the 32 swings up the track. Here comes Colin Bollinger on the bottom.
Bollinger amongst those digging again. Looking to try and continue to slice on the inside. He's been one of the most aggressive in terms of the moves and one of the few that's made the moves work in a lot of these battle packs. Still nothing doing to clear up by Phillips, who's on the decline all of a sudden. Your contact of the battle behind, as that we'll see Holston and Hinson. Rubber Hayes also up to second, but Tommy Ryan right in front of this also. They all zip the way through. Oh, in trouble! Phillips gets turned around, but saves it. We stay green. Tremendous saves, race control says. That was a little air between him and Hinson, but it might have been contact regardless.
Man, what an absolutely insane save that was. That looked like it was going around for sure. I'm surprised race control didn't throw out the yellow again. But he manages to keep it all in one piece. However, he is now outside the top 10 for the first time today. So now he's got to try and fight an uphill battle to get back to where he was. Meanwhile, Noah Hubbard now building a 6/10 gap to River Hayes with Tommy Ride 4/10 behind him. Ooh, looks like the 01 got into the wall again there. That has been a recurring theme all night. People want to go wide. They want to swing up to as close to the wall as they can get, but you can't get too close, or else you'll start seeing the secret magnets they put in there.
Yeah, you got to be careful of those magnets. Sometimes the magnetization can really destroy you.
Yeah, I remember there was this one crazy conspiracy theory back in the early 2000s. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but apparently people were accusing a lot of the faster teams of having magnets on the floor of their car and then having magnets on the track so that they would push each other away and they'd go faster. That is absolutely insane, but it is definitely a conspiracy theory for sure. As we go back into turns 2 and 3.
Yep. Racing up to 130 in this stage for those wanting to keep track. So we are, at this point, under 30 to go in the stage. It's still a long time, per se, with the way things have settled down on the racetrack. Some of these runs starting to really solidify themselves. Look at Jeff Ryan go for some moves.
Yeah, he almost got into the back of Christian Barnes right there. That looked like it was gonna hurt there for a second, but he pulls away at the last possible moments. We see the 88 of Jacob Cochran, who has been dealing with adversity all day long, sitting in 16th currently, trying to hunt down the 14 of Dave Billings.
Now, none of the drivers who had the pit stops for damage repair have made any real passes outside of Romano with the fast repair situation, got to 12. So really, outside of Bollinger, no one's been able to make fresher tires work at all here tonight, it seems. How is that going to settle in to try and actually get some track position here for some of these drivers? Because if tire differences are going to do it, what is going to do it?
I mean, at this point, you got to try and either jump them in the pits or maybe even just stay out altogether. If tires are really not being that much of a factor, you don't have to worry about them as much as, when they get down into the 70s, the 60s, and the 50%. But we'll just have to see how it goes. We still have a long way to go in this race, so that could potentially change.
Starting to get pretty dark all of a sudden, by the way. It is the most cloudy skybox here over the racetrack tonight. We've noticed throughout the entire night it stayed cloudy here in this part of California. Eventually, we might get to where the lights turn on, where the pace stays are going here under the darkness. So, obviously, that might change the way the track goes as you see some of the errors work their way through. It is pretty cool already. We're already at the minimum air temp as it is.
31%, that is not great odds. I mean, it's definitely more than the CSGO case for sure. So I would definitely be prepared to see some wet weather here. If that does happen, that is certainly going to change things.
That's humidity. Remember,
humidity,
on ovals, on ovals, as much as I pleaded in the past when they initially introduced weather, I remember they've already said, basically, no, we are not going to put rain tires on an oval. I wish they would, though.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. I genuinely thought that was how it worked, but I guess it's been a long, long time, and I just also haven't done a ton of racing in iRacing. My preferred game is Automobilista 2. But there you can do anything with anything. It's a lot of fun. And with that being said, Jacob Cochran up to 12th here. He is definitely making his way up this field. And things are shifting around a little bit. Something we haven't heard a whole lot from today. Adam Holston in that 48 car and Ryan Pelfrey in that 31, now up into 5th and 6th. They have had themselves a pretty decent day, all things considered. They've managed to stay out of trouble, and they managed to keep their equipment in one piece. And look at it. They've been rewarded up into the top 10 for both of them.
Yeah, especially in the case where Ryan was struggling earlier. Pelfrey doing phenomenal on just picking off spots very methodically. 31 machine slowly picking up spots now to the rear bumper just about of Holston. Zachary King, for some reason, needs to pit. He just indicated a stop on 36 laps on our stint. And that's coming up to what is going to be 15 to go on the stage.
Woo. We'll have to see. The stage is going to end right at lap 130. King is going to try and pit and maybe try and short pit everybody when they go in for these next tires.
He would be on the lead lap.
That is definitely, he's not going to be on the lead lap because, if Reggie Kime gets by him, he's going to be the lucky dog instead of him. So this is now going to be a race to get back in front of that 9 car.
Just heard an indication he is done. Zachary King said he is done for the night.
Ooh.
So we have lost another machine. All of a sudden, we are down to what is going to be 21 running on the racetrack. A little bit of a moment for Holston. Able to hold on to into the 48. But right now, Pelfrey and Barnes providing the pressure.
He's got 5 cars nipping at the heels right now. He's got to try and get something done here, do whatever he can to hang on to this spot with only 13 laps to go, make it 12 laps to go in the stage. He has got a lot of ground to try and hang on to, and only a short amount of time to try and hang on to. At 31, still struggling to get by on the bottom. But they've still got the 27 of Christian Barnes behind them, and he is hungry.
Extremely hungry, it feels like, absolutely. Still nothing doing. Coming up to 10 to go on the stage. Up the track, Holston, that might be the door. We have trouble behind. He's around for the caution.
Looks like nobody else tagged him. He is going to be able to get it back moving there. I think he might have just overdrove the corner. I didn't see anybody around him when it started. Oh, no, it was Ryan. Ryan absolutely pile drives into the back of him. And that is going to send him around. Ryan got onto the throttle, I think, way faster than he expected. And, sent the 27 with a one-way ticket to the inside of the track. See you later. But that is definitely going to get him some incident points. And definitely a little bit of a conversation with race control once this is all said and done.
And just like that, Caution flag waves, and we have under 10 to go on the stage. Do you take the pit stop now, or do you wait? Let's see. Leader is pitting.
It's like a lot of folks are here. So he's going to come in. We've got another few cars coming in. So this is where we're going to see the real big difference in pit strategy, right? I think the thinking is with the cautions coming out at the rate that they are, if it continues and you pit here, you could potentially make it to the end with one more stop. I think that might be the thinking here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. Maybe these guys just want better equipment for these last few laps. That's a lot of positions to give up. Maybe Hubbard expected more people to come down into the pits. Not really sure. River Hayes is going to be your new leader as Hubbard wins the battle off pit road. It's going to be the 01, the 31, and presumably the 32, if he is able to get it backfired before the 39. And he is. So he is going to be the next off pit road with a 39 behind him. I think that was 39. Not sure.
Yeah. And so, they'll all blend back onto the racetrack as a result, and will in turn flip the stage. They'll choose this time by Hayes, looking to settle on up in front at least to pick up some stage points, help out his championship positioning, try and figure out a way to close 146 points of that 99. Downside, 99 is right behind him.
Yeah. It is, it's always demoralizing to see the guy you're trying to beat, you do everything that you can, you win the stage, you're going to get yourself a lot of points there, and then you see the guy you're trying to get past right behind you, so you know that all of the dent that you just made is practically undone. So he is only going to make a little bit of progress. He chooses the outside. He's been so effective on the bottom all day long, and now he chooses the outside. Maybe he knows something. We'll just have to see.
And we'll get one more pace lap before we get back going here once again. So that will set us up for a 4-lap dash. We get back rolling in the next few moments here. This is going to be an interesting one once again for the drivers coming up in the next moments or so. Figure out what they will do.
Halfway done here. A lot of ground still left to cover.
Plenty of ground to cover, if you will, in the course of this one. But for Hayes, first time up front all night. He's been trying so hard to pick up some spots, but highest he was able to get before this was second. Here we go. 4 to go. Ready to roll. Back to the green start zone we go. Green flag is out. Ryan, a little bit of tire spin. Here comes Bollinger for second. He's in the wall.
Yep, he is going to get into the wall right there. Just could not manage the throttle. He's still going to have enough speed to be neck and neck and gain position on the 99. Where in the world did he find all that speed?
Look at the move. It's Bollinger ripping the top. Gets it around and gets to second. He's got less than 3 laps to find a way to take over the lead. Coming on through into 3. Bollinger elects to stay in the line. Now he pokes to the inside. He gets to the fender. Caution flag is out. That's the stage.
Ooh. Got a big crash. The 32 and the 19 involved. I believe the 34 has damage. And we'll try and take a look and see what happened here in a moment. That's JP Phillips, who has been doing so well all day long. Just came out of that pit cycle. Going into 1 and 2. Nobody around him as of right now. It looks like the 31 and the 34 get together, and oh, that's a hard impact for that 34, and man, he didn't make contact with him on our screen, but the netcode forces him to go sideways. The 19 drives in, and that is pretty much all she wrote, at least for the 34. That was a very hard impact. I would not be surprised if that's not a meatball flag. Or if that is a meatball flag, excuse me.
Yeah, look at this here. Will pace the stage, by the way, they confirm. Palfrey, ricochet right into the track opening.
God, that looked like it hurt. The 45 is going to have some right front damage as well. He tagged the 34 trying to get underneath him. So the 19 and, yeah, he's also going to come away with damage. Just a rough sight. You never want to see that.
With that, River Hayes does pick up the stage with them taking that stage point. They'll be over Colin Bollinger, Tommy Ryan, Gavin Hinson, Adam Holston, Jacob Cochran, Stevenson, Hubbard, Belfry, and Willard are all in the top 10 and all coming down pit road except for Hubbard and Pelfrey. Pelfrey lucky he dodged it as a result there. But as they all make their way on through, this was the call that the Ford and company knew they had to make to be able to control things once we get back going here for the long haul.
Looks like most everybody is coming down pit road. You've got Noah Hubbard at 31 staying out, as well as the 27 and the 14s. Pretty much everybody that pitted earlier is going to be staying out. And it looks like River Hayes is going to win the battle off pit road. So great job to his crew getting him back out there in a hurry. Only 9 laps on the top 4's tires. So that is going to be very, very interesting. Not a lot of wear on that equipment. I think we might be able to see them try and make a run and stay in front here.
Definitely see how this plays out here as they all try and sort out where they get behind. Dave Billings is amongst those who stayed out, by the way. So all the drivers who pit will be behind them. So it's Hubbard, Pelfrey, Barnes, and Billings. All going to be on a couple lap older tires. And the stage shouldn't be too bad. There's circumstance here as we get ourselves all sorted here. By the way, Mankey is off track. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I would even consider this basically equal equipment. Pace car lights are out. Looks like they will be trying to go green this time by. They're going to add one more. Never mind. They're going to add one more lap just to get everybody all caught up with the field. But they're basically on equal equipment because keep in mind, almost half of those laps that they have run on the extra run on those tires, all of those have been under caution. So it'll be interesting to see how this all shakes out. Everybody's getting bunched back up.
All get sorted again.
Looks like the rest of the field back there just still trying to compress, catch up. Yeah, it's always so rough at these short tracks with the way the pit cycles work. Usually happens a good bit at Bristol, too. Just one of those things that comes with the short track racing. Everybody weaving a little bit, trying to keep those tires as warm as they can get at this point of the race. Pace car is in. They'll be going green this time.
Here we go. 115 to go when we get back going. Hubbard and Pelfrey on the front row. Green flag is out. Great start for the 4. Here comes Hayes looking to go to the inside. Pelfrey getting a bit loose.
Here comes River Hayes to the bottom. He wants that lead. He wants the front. Noah Hubbard not ready to give it up just yet. Here comes Bollinger. He has been super aggressive all night long. Cochran the bottom of 3 wide there for just a moment. Christian Barnes is able to hang on the outside to try and stay inside the top 5, but for how much longer, that is the question. Tyler J. Stevenson is pushing, trying to get his way through this field as Bollinger is forced to go back into 4th.
Caution flag is out, a big stack up. Oh. Look at that, parking lot. At least 5-6 cars involved or back in yellow.
Luckily, it looks like the damage on most of them is minimal. Let's take another look here. Look like this all started here with the 39 and the 44. Looks like the 14. That's Dave Billings getting together. That is going to send the 39 and both of them into that angled wall. And oh man, nowhere else to go. As the 9 to 3, the 19 are involved.
Yeah, look at Hinson. And Billings said on the radio, "How much higher can I go?"
Not high enough, apparently. Hinson wanted that space, but he did not have it, was not entitled to it, hadn't completed the pass, and unfortunately that results in a handful of wrecked race cars.
And so, we're back in our yellow. Keep in mind, as we pace around here and set up for what's going to be a lengthy Stage 3, we have a lot of upcoming shows here on Green Flag TV once again. That includes the FTR Olmedo Racing Academy Endurance Series this weekend. They'll be having some racing at 1 p.m. start time for Phillip Island. Be sure to tune in for what should be some fun racing for FTR. Blazing Pedals is back in action as well before they have next week after this one off. Rockingham is on the docket on Sunday. Monday, it's the Belgian Sim Racing Federation that kicks off the day at the Hockenheim Ring with High Tide at Dover Motor Speedway later on in the evening. Aspire Racing is a part of the Tuesday slate with the afternoon with Mars and Watkins Glen on Tuesday night. Also, same Tuesday, we have a new one. Look at that. It's the Silver Fox Racing Late Model Championship that makes a run, as they'll be starting off with a paperclip to begin things off with their coverage this upcoming week. A part of some of the upcoming broadcasts here on Green Flag TV.
Man, and that Silver Fox.
Jacob, I think you were saying about Silver Fox?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I think I cut out there for a second. But Silver Fox Racing, man, that is going to be so much fun. I love watching late models and super late models, those super scrappy cars on dirt, man. It is so much fun. Really takes me back to when I was a kid. I'd go to the Talladega short track, and they would always have some crazy contraptions running around that thing. Lots of fun.
So, no pace car in and out this time. Chooses good. Hubbard and Hayes are a part of those on the front row still. Remember, Hayes on a slightly, very slight, newer tires. And you better get yourself set for what's going to be a busy restart sequence here once again. Now, how do you play this if you are Hubbard the rest of the way because you've got the clean air advantage per se? Now what do you do?
Deep breaths, man. Deep breaths. Manage that breathing. Manage your equipment. You obviously know how to drive this thing, right? You know how to get in front, stay in front. Just keep doing that. Set them up, knock them down.
Want to find out how much these drivers want this off the jump already. 107 to go at the stripe. It's off and away for Hubbard from the outside. Hayes with a bit of tire spin. Back underway. As look at everybody else rip their way through. Near contact for third. Pelfrey hits the wall. He spins onto the side. He drips it through. And like Clay's McFarland, he sticks it, but they wreck in front of him.
And it looks like that's Tyler J. Stevenson in the 98 who goes spinning. He is able to get it back moving. Caution does come out. And man, one saved, one didn't. And we are about to get all of that and more in this replay. You can see they kind of accordion together, a concertina effect, if you will. Ryan Pelfrey comes down the track. He gets a little bit too close and then goes into the wall. He just got intimidated by the space the 8 was taking, and he manages to get it back going straight. The 98 makes contact with the 27 and is helped to his demise by the 88 car. Takes considerable left rear damage. That is probably why that caution ended up coming out. I imagine the debris is less than ideal. But yeah, definitely a lot going on in that replay. And now we are going to live out the effects of it. 105 laps to go. Still a decent amount of time, but not much.
Yeah, and River Hayes, interesting enough, comes down pit road. Is that a call to make it on gas?
Maybe. We'll have to see. Remember, they are running at 60% fuel, so I think you could make it to the end on this gas, but I don't know if you could make it to the end anywhere near the front on those tires. So he is coming down pit road. Looks like we've got one other going down. It is going to be interesting.
Definitely so, as Bollinger just came down the second time by. So obviously getting things sorted on their sequence once again, but that will see Hubbard getting ready to control things. Jacob Cochran with this is up to third, by the way.
Man, he has been fighting uphill.
Definitely has. Absolutely. So, as Bollinger comes in and out of pit road here comes the huge part with 103 laps to go. At this point, how long are you willing to keep it on the racetrack here, Jacob?
I think maximum 80 laps. I want to be absolutely sure. When you want to make a long run like that, you don't want to kind of be on the line of, oh, am I going to be able to make it? Am I not going to be able to make it? I prefer to be absolutely sure before I attempt something like that. So I'm thinking max like 80 laps here, right? That is definitely doable on one fuel tank. We've seen guys get through 30, 40, 50, no problems, right? Only then does your speed start falling off once you start hitting that 55, that 60. So 80 is absolutely doable if you're trying to make it on a long run. Problem is, with as many yellows are coming out, I'm not so sure that's the strat.
They've already chosen yet again. We're coming up to 100 laps to go when we take the green flag once again here. And we'll find out if Barnes has enough to try and become a new leader. After all, so far, Hubbard's led 56 now on the evening.
Yep, he is having himself a heck of a day. Uncharted driver, by the way, so no guarantee of starting today, but he did, and he has made the most of it.
He has indeed, and now he gets ready to bring us to the green. Green flag is out. Little tap from Cochran. We're backing away.
Yep, we are, and he gets out to a massive lead. Look at that. Christian Barnes as well in that 27, the 88 up to third. With Elston on the outside, but there's been one car that's been consistently up here all day long. The 99 of Tommy Ryan, managing to keep it near the front and just bring that points gap out even further. Without getting second place in that stage, or at the end of stage 1, and then doing the same thing, trying to make his way back up here at the midway through this third stage. They go out single file now, but things are still getting a little chaotic behind it.
Yeah, still most of the field trying to at least figure out where they're going to be here in this choo-choo train. And better yet, who's going to get runs? A few drivers wall riding like Cochran. That in mind, most of the field not willing to push too hard per se, as we're under 98 laps to go here in this one.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of these guys have just kind of settled down, just kind of waiting to see where things will shake out here in these next 97 laps, make that 96. But yeah, there does come a point in most races where everybody's like, all right, cool, we're settled in for the long haul. We got the shakes out. We got the heebie-jeebies out. Now it's time to actually settle in, log some laps, and try and wind this thing. That's exactly what they're doing.
We're seeing a lot of the people on this track at least think it's better to make sure to ride and then wait for the hole. Cochran trying to make one. Here we got alongside. Here's some side-by-side. Davidson and Pelfrey. Davidson, he rides the wall. It almost feels like Bristol, like old Bristol, with the way some of the drivers are just wall riding here, like you normally wouldn't see on the newer tracks these days. Oh, a hit for Davidson.
Whoa, big hit. That might have some right side damage. Doesn't seem to be stopping him. He's just slinging it in there. My goodness. He is doing everything he can to keep this position, car and all. And he is going to try and hang around on the outside here. But yeah, with them going at the speeds that they're going, hitting the wall is not necessarily as devastating as it would be at most places, right? Normally that'll cost you about 20, 25 miles an hour, and you have to waste so much time to get back up the racing speed. But here, you're going to lose 5 max, right? Especially if it's just a light graze like most of these guys have been doing. The big place you don't want to do it is the straightaways, because you're going to panic, you're going to go cut left exactly like he did just there. And if you do that too much, it's like we've seen time and time again, that'll send you right into the outside wall, so got to be careful.
And we're seeing Pelfrey now hit the wall once again for his own mark. Oh, and contact! Oh! Pelfrey to pit road! Pelfrey kept it under the wall.
He is going to keep it back out on track. Oh, my goodness. As he comes back around across the start-finish line, he thought he was clear, but he was not. And you can see right here, he gets into the wall, overdrives the corner, and he's trying to recover, trying to hang on to his spot, and he just cuts left. I think that's more of a racing incident than anything else, because the 01 was kind of going up as well, but he manages to stay calm, lock it down, get onto the bottom of the racetrack, get out of everybody's way, and he is able to get it back on track without incident. Man, that is absolutely terrifying going towards that divider. He had a millisecond to make that decision, and he made the correct one. as we are coming around with 88 to go.
Yeah, and some of these different situations here getting more and more tighter. Let's just put it that way here. We still have a lot of time up on the board, mind you, as I think Barnes is starting to show some issues on the rears. Hubbard did have good long run. Remember we talked about that point in stage 1 at the end of that one? We're starting to see that come into play a little bit here because the 27 in comparison getting a little bit floaty.
Yep, he is definitely starting to lose out on a lot of that speed there, but he is still right there on the rear bumper as they come around to this lap traffic here. We'll see. That'll probably be the first time the leaders have run into it all day long. We'll see how the pack reacts.
Yeah, and right now they are reaching lap traffic to deal with soon. That's going to be McCoy Banky that they'll deal with. And the next car out to Reggie Kime. And we'll get to the major talking point later on if we do get to the point of the rest of the pack. Because that rest of the pack, mind you, the separation is only 9 seconds, 1st to 16th. Doesn't sound like a lot until you realize it's half the track back already.
That's a lot of time at a place like that, especially with a track so small that is so much time to be gained, to be made up. The 27 firing as much as he can on the defenses of the 4. Nothing doing. Noah Hubbard holds strong like a stoic guardian in the night. Does not budge. The 27 is going to have to really get aggressive if he wants to try and make this pass. Tried to go around the outside, a little bit of contact with the wall. He's going to try and dive down low here, going into 3 and 4.
Try to get a little more decisive. Here we go. Inside 27.
Oh, man.
Oh, now Barnes to the inside. Let's take a look at a replay.
Looks like you can see he goes down to the bottom here in 3 and 4. Just slides right up the track. The 4 actually comes down a good bit, too. They get together, but they keep it together. Look at that, and we are back to live right here. So the 4 able to hang on to that spot. The 27 to Christian Barnes now trying to hang on to the second. Jacob Cochran is just driving around him. Has nearly completed the pass, and after this corner probably will have completed the pass. The 27 concedes, lost the battle, and now the 88 to chase down the 4.
Yeah, Cochran again looking to add to his resume in this series. One of the top drivers in our series also. Holston is 48 rides and still looks... Oh my goodness, Cochran just demolished the wall.
What a hit, and they are piling in. The rest of the field does slow down. Caution comes out. And man, that just did a number on the top 5. Ryan falling down. So will the 27. Oh man. You can see he's riding the high side here. Just trying to hang him high here, and he's able to make it work for the most part. Trying to see where the trouble starts. Come back round to the front straightaway, and he gets into the wall, right into that divider. Oh my goodness, and he just bounces off, collects the 27, 48, 39 gets a piece, so does the 31. And man, that is just rough.
I think that's an understatement. I mean, what else can you say?
Man, that is just unfortunate. That is not something you want to see happen to anybody. And that is something that we just saw right there. You can see he just catches a snap of oversteer, and that is all she wrote. Jeff Ryan going into the pits now as a result. The 8 of Bollinger's able to get by, and the 31 are able to get by, but not without damage taxes. Man. And now everybody's coming into the pits. Look at this.
So this should get everyone on fuel. We have a lot of drivers smoking from that. And fast repair time for a lot of others. Near contact off of pit road for a few competitors. Tommy Ryan got absolutely decimated as part of that incident. Your points leader having to take the fast repair from that sequence. And obviously, this changes a lot. There's a lot of drivers having a lot of these competitors just sort themselves. Bollinger leads from this because he ended up getting the better jump out of everybody.
He's one of the only ones that got past it, and he is electing not to come down pit road here. So he will, or I believe he did come down, but I don't think we got to see him leave. He is going to be behind the 3 who came down before anybody else. It looks like the 45 is going to be ahead of them, trying to get some laps back, is that 45 team. So after pit road has all shaken out, looks like JP Phillips is going to lead us to the green flag here. Not exactly sure how it's all going to work just yet, but we've definitely got a ton of time. We're probably going to see maybe 5-6 more caution laps as the 8 will choose the outside 4 and 81 go down to the bottom.
And so, this entire race has kind of been flipped on its head, if you will, with this incident. So, what's kind of going through your mind now after that calamity, so to speak, as I think we may have to get the pace car back out. Chooses good. They will get the pace car back out, but what's your mindset now? We still have 73 to go, 72 to go when we get back going.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, the long run does kind of get killed because now everybody has enough fuel to make it. So at this point, I think you just got to try and drive as best you can and take the pit stops when you need to take them because, my goodness, the cautions have been coming out and they have been non-stop today, been an absolute slugfest. And
we have a problem.
Green.
We have a problem. The sim just called a green flag, but the pace car off. It's an in-sim glitch. They've immediately thrown the caution because of that.
That was very, very strange. Looks like the sim overriding the manual controls there for race control, so that is definitely a bit strange. They're going to try and get the pace car back out while the rest of the field manages to scrunch together. So we're going to spend a few more laps under caution here, but it should be all according to plan.
A lot of confusion there, but let's try this again. Again, it's Bollinger, Hubbard, Hayes, Holston in the first 2 rows. You also have Ryan with the faster pair still up there. Pelfrey, Stevenson, and Barnes. Davidson, Hinson. Part of your top 10 at the moment. They're now telling the field has to catch the pace car.
Uh-oh.
So they're going to have to do this again. Again.
For the final time, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, this has turned wild, very wild, in a very quick way.
I mean, let's be fair. There's never a normal race at one of these tracks. Something always goes haywire. Something all turns it right on its head. That's why we love short tracks so much. I mean, it's never a normal day at one of these.
That I agree with, absolutely. But we still will try this again. Again, if you will. And they will bring this to 1 to go this time by race control, just confirmed to the radio. They're just going to get at least back in position to do something before that point. And then we'll go. Now we're 1 to green. Let's try this again, to the point we're making contact.
Miguel, they are chomping at the bit to get back going there. My goodness, the anticipation's been building for over 8 laps now. Who is going to come out on top here at Irwindale? Let's see.
Oh, they're rubbing their door baiting. Coming to the restart zone, 68 to go. Ford trying to jump. Green never came out.
They're going. They're going. We're green. Here we are.
In sim, we have a caution. Hold on 1 second. Now they're slamming the brakes for the green out. My goodness.
Oh my goodness. Oh, the Ryan is in it. So is Rip Hayes. The 39 of Hinson. The 4 of Hubbard. That was your leader coming into this. And through nobody really knowing if they're green or not, and everybody being told to slow down and speed up, and everybody's just being confused. And in the mass confusion, the 81 nearly won. 8 has to go wide, tags the 4, and then that just leaves nobody else with anywhere to go. And man, what an absolute disaster.
What in the world? Bollinger realizes there's no green out. Then they slam the brakes. And the green then came out. I've never seen this.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in my life. That's insane. That's how does that even happen? Oh my gosh. And you can see the Ford tagging the wall too. Was trying to come off it and just nowhere to go. Not nearly enough time to react. Man, I think if you're the oh my gosh, they're gonna try and give spots back. The Force race car is completely destroyed. How are they gonna manage that? If he's already used his fast repair, I know that 99 took a bunch of damage and he used fast repair on his last. Oh my goodness. Man, it looks we are getting confirmed. So the Ford does have a fast repair, but the 99's been caught up in it, and we just watched him use it on that last pit stop. So now he's going to have to wait the full time if he wants that race car repaired. Man, that is so unfortunate.
This is going to take a bit to sort out here.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Detroit cars. That includes Tommy Ryan, who did use a fast repair, Tyler Stevenson, who's had some issues, Wysocki, Hunt, Hinson. This is going to take moments here to review through. Hey,
oh, man.
This is turned into wildness.
Unmitigated disaster. That's a good two-word descriptor for this. Oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. I've never seen that in my life.
So, how do you reset your mindset after this?
Hey, look, we're a one-lap ball club, right? We are a one-lap ball club. Deep breaths. The last 190 or so laps didn't happen, right? Don't know what you're talking about. Never heard of it, right? This is a 63, make it a 62-lap race now, all right? Dig deep, pull everything that car's got left out of it, and leave it all out on the racetrack. You just got to take deep breaths, clear your mind, clear your head, do whatever it is you got to do, and tell yourself whatever you got to say to get yourself reset and get back in this race, because that is something that is very frustrating. And the only way to come back from that kind of thing is to be stoic, be strong, and be determined.
Lots of apologies over the radio, obviously. So, Bollinger still will lead as the lights are off the pace car at the moment. I think in all this, Bollinger somehow, some way avoided damage, by the way. So the 8 is still very lucky. I think we're going to have to add another pace lap. Field's still catching up.
Give the field enough time to kind of get caught up here. Man, all things considered, though, they are giving everybody their spots back, so nobody really lost too much in terms of track position.
Here we go. They didn't have to lap this time. So, it's turned into a wild one. Here we go for second.
Oh, 48 into the wall. Holston got into the wall big time, and that is going to cost him second place. Might cost him third if he's not careful. That's River Hayes on the bottom. He's been so good down there all day long. And Colin Bollinger, who has spent this whole race trying to get around people, now has to try to keep people behind him. A lot easier said than done when the best car on track is in your rearview mirror. Here comes Noah Hubbard.
Caution flag is out. Another yellow, and Ryan is in it with Phillips.
Oh, no. Oh, man. We'll try and take a look and see what happened, but that is very, very unfortunate for those two crews right there. Looks like up on the high side, things are decent so far. He gets tagged by the 31. The 31 sends him around, and then pile driving into the back of the 32 is the 01. Both Phillips and Ryan left to rot on the infield. Oh my gosh, that was two separate wrecks that happened at the same time. Oh man, that is absolutely devastating for the 99 and the 32 as well. He had nothing but misfortune after misfortune. He is going to check up right in front of that 01 who was not lifting, did not see what was going on. Here's what Zach Davidson saw coming into 3 and 4. He sees the smoke, but doesn't see much else. And he is just, it's just blocking his vision, has no idea what's going on, and pile drives right in the back of the 32, sends him into the 99. Looked like Ryan had it gathered up there for a moment, but the 32 seals the deal. Very unfortunate for both of them.
So Pelfrey caused a caution. 55 still to go. I mean, remember, we get to do it again next week on the short track. 5 Flags is next week.
Oh, boy.
That's going to be even more wilder.
It is. Oh, man. What a great place. What a great place we're at here. I mean, come on. There's stuff you've never even seen that's happened in this race. I mean, what more could you want from a day like today? And it could be so much worse right now, right? We could have 500 laps left to go. So, all things considered, this has turned out to be a pretty decent race. Pretty good day for at least us up here in the booth. That is for sure. Is that Colin Bollinger will maintain the lead, and looks like Douglas Wasaki, who had so much trouble earlier today, is now up into the top 10.
That's with the attrition piling up. We're down to 18 cars running, but only 16 of which are on the lead lap. So
yeah, Reggie Kime earlier had like a 6-minute pit stop or something. It was insane trying to get all that damage repaired. He's been in a lot of accidents so far today, none of which have really.
Choose this time. Delayed restart yet again. So, ready to fly soon. Again. And I think at this point,
for the last time.
Don't jinx it.
Well, you never know. You never know. Looks like they're going to go one more lap here.
Yeah, but I was about to say this has turned into an absolute stunner for those watching along here for tonight.
Whew.
I mean, the film session is going to be immaculate after tonight.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're going to be a ton to go over, really. Going to be something very special for all parties involved to kind of break down at home. And we for sure are having a great time.
It's turned into a massively chaotic one. Green, green, green. Let's go back again.
Here we go. Cross your fingers and toes, everybody. We're 3 wide down there. Look at that. Tyler J. Stevenson still taking no prisoners as Noah Hubbard gets into the back of the 8. It is going to turn into an absolute bloodbath as these laps wind down. We are going to have 50 to go this time by. It is anybody's game.
Still side by side for the 3rd spot. Holston. Oh, now bumping and banging for the lead. Hubbard. Oh, now we got loose off the corner. Now goes to the outside. Covered off by Bollinger. Here comes the run for Hubbard. Nearly got loose, trying to build it again.
Here we go. He's going to try and drive it around the outside. Colin Bollinger pulls low to defend. He's got River Hayes behind him, trying to hang low, trying to keep him in there. The Ford and the 48 both into the wall. Now they barrel into turns 3 and 4. Here comes Noah Hubbard on the outside. He gets into the wall. The 48 is forced to check up. Still alongside as they cross the start-finish line.
Still nothing going on the side-by-side as they roll their way through. Now looses Hubbard. Here we got to the fender of Bollinger. They rumble their way up to the corner, coming to 47 laps to go.
And that 4 gets into the wall again, and the 8 is running away. Colin Bollinger, after so much trial and tribulation, has built up a 2/10 lead, but the 4 has gathered himself, and he is marching ahead with the full head of steam down the back straightaway.
How long will this last in terms of the pressure? Right now a send from Hayes. Not able to get a clearance yet. Holston keeping alongside for 3rd still. He's in the wall. That might open the door for the 81. Not yet, in fact. Still nothing going.
One thing to get alongside him. It's another thing to pass him. The 81 still with a good bit of work to do. Now the 48 diving inside the 4th. That was close. Still just barely able to get clear.
Oh, here we go.
Contact. Here we go. The 81 into the wall. The 48 of Holston into the wall now. The 81 is able to get back going, but the 48 is parked on track. He will get back going as well. Let's take a look at what happened. The 4 coming down. Out of turns 1 and 2. The 48 got a monster shove from the 27. They're 3 wide for just a moment. 81 coming back up the track. The 48 tagged by the 27. And, yeah, more than likely just a racing incident ruling here from race control. If you had to pin it on anybody, you'd probably pin that on the 48 as he came down into the 27. Whew.
Yeah.
Man, I swear, is that smoke coming out of the back of the 48 there? Or am I hallucinating? I might be hallucinating.
I think there definitely is from that.
Oh, man, the 19. Man, the poor 19, man. Caleb has just had such a rough day today. None of these accidents have really been his fault, and yet he just keeps getting damage from them. Caleb Hunt was nowhere near this scuffle, and his vision's almost completely blocked by the car in front. Tries to go high to avoid, and right into the right front of that 48 car.
And so we're back under yellow with lots more repairs. So now Bollinger and Hubbard still stay on the racetrack, but a lot of others that took a lot of beatings here come down, including Stevenson. A lot of people taking some tire sets to try and differentiate themselves here late. Likely will be the last time down pit road.
We'll see how things go. Everybody trying to get fresher tires towards the end here. It's been about, give or take, 10, 20 laps since most of the field's last pit stop. So it's not a terrible idea here, especially if you expect to go green for the rest of the way. But if pattern recognition tells me anything, I don't think that's going to be the case. So we'll see if the gamble pays off for the teams that come down.
So now let's find out pretty soon how this is going to play out. Reset your top 10. Bollinger, Hubbard, Barnes, Davidson, Billings, Pelfrey, Willard, Phillips, Hayes, Stevenson. Now your top 10. Ryan, going to take a points hit. I think this is one of the few races all season that's taken a massive hit when it comes to the case for Ryan. Here are the points this season. Ryan, remember, in the top 10, all but one race this season. This may potentially be the second time he doesn't get in the top 10.
I don't know. He's had a pretty fast car all day, all things considered. We still got 40 laps to go. There is more than enough time for him to get back up into a decent points a day here, but we will just have to see. That 81 is frothing at the mouth with the idea of getting a top 5 while the 99 stays out of the top 10.
So already the top 2 rubbing doors yet again. Hubbard was a contender in his one previous start in this series. Is he going to get it done tonight? Already dooring the 8. They're dooring each other down the back.
Gosh. I think all bets are off at this point. I think whatever agreement or whatever friendship they had has gone by the wayside as the pace car comes in. Here we go, bumper to bumper, rail to rail. They enter the restart zone. Bollinger's going to try and get the jump. He controls the launch. The 4 wasn't ready. He clears, and off they go into 1 and 2.
Good jump for the 8. Oh, the way to the apron for River Hayes back there. Ball right now, Hubbard trying to clear himself in front of Barnes. Now gets hit. Into the wall goes the 4. Barnes hits him again. Davidson with the run.
Oh, man, it looked for sure like he was going around right there. Great driver from the 4, the 27, wanting to get by him fast. The 32 was sideways as well, but he manages to keep it together, and it's the 98, Tyler Chase Stevenson. They are beating and banging inside the corner, outside the corner, left, right, middle, you name it. They are coming together. Oh, my goodness. And now the 98 is sideways, collides with the 32. The 32 of Phillips is into the wall. We stay green. He's slow off the corner. That's going to allow Ryan to get under. And now things have definitely shaken out here.
More slams yet again, and everyone keeps going with 35 laps to go. Turn into an openly chaotic race. We talked about that earlier. The chaos still reigns. But Hubbard, who's taken a lot of hits now in this stage, he's looking to wrap the top. Can he find a way? Any way to get to the 8.
Here we go. Here he comes now on the bottom. Now the gloves are off. They are hounding one another for every possible inch of position. Here we go. And that four car just got so loose off that last corner. Lost so much time on the 8, trying to get it back. And he looks like he is going to be able to catch up, but it is another thing entirely to pass him.
Oh, there are more wall rides. Again, doesn't work. There's only so much that Hubbard can do here before he risks the tires here. Oh, he hit the back of the 8. He's not afraid to move the 8. Bollinger moved out of the way, and Bollinger turns him.
Together, and now the 4 goes around. Smoke going into 3 and 4. They both get back rolling. The caution does come out, and they have been at each other's throats since before the restart. And it all comes to a head right here. The tension was palpable. You could cut it with a knife, and the 4, tired of riding second, pushes him out of the way and then slams into the side of him. Not clear was the words in his ear, but I don't think he cared.
Let's see this again. Yeah, look. Sorry. Both drivers, EOL, not a surprise because bump once, bump twice.
Woo.
I think
you
they
can
both.
See the 8 go left. You can see the 8 go left. He took him out.
But Hubbard also went right. Hubbard also went right.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Here comes the wheel of the 8. This will be the moment of truth. Here's the driver's eye camera. Man, his head is so still in there. Holy moly. And yeah, he was going left. I think that's pretty cut and dry right there. That's fair from race control. That is very fair. And we'll take a look now at some of the other things that were going on. Here's Tyler J. Stevenson and River Hayes getting together. And now off of that contact, the 98, still thirsty for blood, gets into Dave Billings. Now to the inside of the 32, who's just been absolutely ran through this race. Slides right into him, uses J.P. Phillips as the crutch. What in the world? The 98 of Tyler J. Stevenson gets the position and runs off into the sunset. Here's Christian Barnes rubbing doors for the 4 now. And that was only going to get more chaotic. They took themselves out relatively early, still over 30 to go here. And oh man, Barnes not happy about that either, repeatedly bashing into him. And you said it, the gloves are finally off. Now they are banging together. It is going to turn into an absolute spectacle.
So tempers are flying, and Christian Barnes, the one who's picked up the pieces. Zach Davidson, he is now in second all of a sudden. So all of a sudden, the 01, who hasn't been in the conversation this entire night, has a chance to join in a loud way, doesn't he?
He sure does. He sure does. And now with the 8 and the 4 both going back to the end of the line, Tommy Ryan edges that top 10. But guess who also edges ever closer to that number 1 spot, that 81 of River Hayes. I know it's still early in the season, but every race has championship implications, and this one is no different.
So, warning for 54, Brandon Willard, for the choose violation nearly being committed. But now, we're coming to 25 laps to go. Right now, Barnes, first led laps of the night, all coming from this incident situation. Davidson, trying to at least line up to the bumper this time. No scraping this time. A lot more space being given from the front 2 compared to the last front 2. Green is out. Outside goes. Davidson didn't even have a chance to go through the gears.
Here comes Tyler J. Stevenson down to the bottom. He wants to try and take the lead. He was up in second at the start of this race, and the caution flag does come out. We've got more calamity on the front straightaway. Looks like the 9 of Reggie Kime is involved because, of course, and it is Hunton Willard.
Willard.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, 54 tire spin.
Oh, man. And after that,
Willard blew the motor.
That's rough. Hey, there's the press box. And now there's the track. And, man, poor Reggie Kime. He hits into the 45 as the restart starts. Still loose. The 19 of Caleb Hunt. How is it that the 9 and the 19 are involved in every crash? I don't understand. That is just simply, like, that is Priest of Bashaba level bad luck right there. That is unbelievable.
Davidson said he spun the tires on that start, by the way. That put him down to third. That's why he didn't even go. And so, this is going to be the challenge for a lot of cars now. Barnes is on older rubber than Stevenson. Stevenson, if he gets enough laps here, might be able to do something.
He could. He could. He very well could. I also think that this is still just anybody's race with the amount of yellows that we've been having and with how crazy the field has gotten as of recently, as the laps wind down. We might see something we will never forget here. You think we finish under green?
I don't know how this is going to go. Let's put it that way.
Oh my God, that car's on fire.
I mean, Willard at this point is a smoke show on the inside of the racetrack. Obviously, that car's done.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm not really sure. It didn't look like he blew it up on the front stretch, so what happened between here and there that caused that? But yeah, as we get closer to the restart here, the question does come out now. Who is going to take this thing? We got 5 cars in the top 5, obviously. Ryan Pelfrey, River Hayes, Zach Davidson, Tyler J. Stevenson, and Christian Barnes. Do you think we get a winner that's currently not in the top 5?
Honestly, I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. I know Hubbard's going to be amongst those in the back looking to carve his way through. But I think your best chance is you have to be up at the front with the way things are going. 20 coming to 19 laps to go. Unless we have the whole field have some trouble with the front of the field, that can change it.
Here we go.
And green flag is out, back on our way. Outside goes again. Davidson again doesn't get the gas. Now Stevenson looking to set some stuff up.
Whoa!
Oh, River Hayes got clipped by Davidson, got clear.
It's getting dicey out there. What did I say, man? These guys are willing to do anything it takes to win, and you're standing on full display right here. JP Phillips, who has been involved in so much bad luck today, who has been involved in so many incidents, is now sitting inside the top 5. We've got 2 cars in the wall back there. One of those is Jeff Ryan, and now the 4 of Noah Hubbard again is in the wall. And now, meanwhile, as we go back up to the lead, we've got more cars coming together. It's the 31 of Pelfrey.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit edgy on the front straightaway. But right now, through the back straightaway, coming to 16 laps to go. Stevenson looking for a run. Tries to get the angle. Barnes slides up. Stevenson not close enough to the Waterforce car yet.
Oh, man, he's trying so hard to drive it as hard as he can into that corner, getting that super to turn as much as it possibly will. 27 pulls low to defend. Now the 98 tries to switch back, tries to get the fender alongside, can't make it happen, has to file back inside. And he's going to try and set it up one more lap, maybe another lap and a half, but he tries to make this pass. Jeff Ryan sinking through this field like a rock all the way back down to 15th after that damage that he took. It looks like we're still seeing an absolute dogfight for the lead. Meanwhile, behind them, here comes Ryan in the 99. Now past Davidson. He is going to be inside the top 5 before long if he can get by Bollinger. A man who was absolutely devastated earlier in this race with less than 15 laps to go. Sits on the edge of the top 5.
And they're going to have to find a way to gain a lot of time because right now the leaders are pulling away a little bit. Right now, Bollinger stays in front of the 99 as they rumble their way through to 12 laps to go. Keep in mind the leaders, 4 cars have a chance. Barnes still holds on in front for now, but it's contact. Stevenson, second time love tap from Hayes now. The 98 starting to slow down a bit. Hayes is on the same tire cycle, keep in mind. Same for JP Phillips. Actually, Phillips a bit fresher on the Goodyears.
Yep, he's telling him, hey, if you're not going to go get this.
This is going to be tough right now when it comes to can anyone get the run. Coming to 10 laps to go here from Irwindale. Right now, Barnes trying to find a way to come on top. The challenge is there. Barnes, 7 starts this season, yet to get a win. He's the lowest out of anybody in terms of starts in the top 16, mind you. They make their way to the front again. Barnes doing a good job defending.
Here we go. And now the 98 of Tyler J. Stevenson has to try and put all of these guys behind him, but the problem is they just won't quit. River Hayes wants to try and make his way up to the front, but as the laps tick down, they are running out of time. They got to sort this out if any of them want to have a chance to win this race. It's not looking likely, though. Christian Barnes, that Domino's 27, is pulling further and further away. The gap now to 5/10 as River Hayes holds high on the bottom.
Yep, all of them still waiting for certain where they're going to go. All of them rumbled their way on through. To the outside,
Ooh.
Stevenson, Hayes inside. No, and this is allowing Barnes to run.
Barnes getting further and further ahead here. Gap now to 7/10 with just under 7 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line. The time has ticked down. Tyler J. Stevenson needs an absolute miracle, and he might get one. Into the wall. Both Hayes and J.P. Phillips go. Look at Bowens are down on the bottom. He passes them both to get back inside the top 5, and so does Tommy Ryan.
All of them shuffle with 5 laps to go. Lots of time lost. Stevenson needs a miracle to close on up in his regard. As they all make their way on through, Ryan rides the wall trying to get around the 8.
We go. They're trying to just hang in there for 5 more laps as the 27 continues to run away. The only one with any chance to catch him is the 98, but I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's got enough car left to make a run.
All of them so far looking to slice, but right now Ryan looking to at least get some spots back. Top 10 looked unlikely a while ago. Top 5 is on the line. Less than 3 laps to go. He tries to guess it outside. No.
Not yet. Not yet. Still plenty of time left in this championship dogfight. And I know it's only one step of the journey, but it's going to be a very, very important step for deciding where this points gap goes. Meanwhile, Bollinger, trying to throw a wrench in both of their plans, dives down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get alongside Hayes, and he will for just a moment. And he'll file back in front of the 99. As he's going to have to get around him now if he wants to try and take out that one.
And right now with the white flag waving, it's the final time around and what has been a bizarre and wild night from California. But for Christian Barnes, he'll make his way to the final stretch to come out on top. Christian Barnes will take the checker flag and take the victory in Irwindale. He gets it over Stevenson and Hayes. It's his first win of 2026.
Woo, what a great race. We'll see the contact that kind of forced this situation to kind of be. You see Stevenson still trying to just...
And right there.
Oh, man. Yeah, not really much to say. 32 overdrives the corner, puts the 81 on the wall. They're both slow as the results. And the 27, man, you never forget that first win in any series, much less one as prestigious as this one. And he is going to burn it down like you would not believe. Absolutely tearing it up. You earned it, young man. And here are your race results. The 27 of Christian Barnes, obviously winner. The 98 of Tyler J. following close behind. River Hayes in the 81 gets it over Tommy Ryan, which will help make a slight dent in that points lead. Colin Bollinger will bring up 5th, 32 of J.P. Phillips in 6th, 31 of Ryan Pelfrey in 7th, the 8th of the 92 of Chris Romano, in 9th, the 01 of Zach Davidson, and in 10th, rounding out your top 10, Dave Billings in that 14 car.
Up at spot going to Douglas Wysocki with Caleb Hunt in 12th, Jeff Ryan 13th, Adam Holstead and Derek Jewett, Reggie Kime, Noah Hubbard, along with Ward, Banky, and Hinson. Down the order here tonight. A lot more also involved, including Cochran, Kane, White, Hawthorne, Addison, and Gary, all a part of the DNF list here tonight. Still waiting for your race winner to stop on by here, Jacob, but we do have third already ready to go. Let's go 3-2-1 tonight as a result. For your post-race coverage here on Green Flag TV, River Hayes got 11 laps led. He gets third. How are you feeling, River?
Yeah, it was a mess tonight. I don't even know where to begin. We had a phantom green flag on the backstretch there, and ended up getting killed. Had to come down, and then we couldn't get the running order right. So I don't know, but either way, still P3. I needed green flags to get to the lead. Like, there was no way I could get back up there, and I got clipped by the 48, I think, and I got damage on the rear end, and I knew I couldn't take it, otherwise I was just going to be stuck in traffic, so I had to just deal with it the rest of the time. And those guys had fresh tires behind me, Tommy and Colin and JP, so I was just lucky to hang on, but we'll take it after tonight.
So, obviously, tonight went a little bit more different than everyone expected. What was the one thing you had to adapt to as the night went on, outside of course, phantom cautions?
Yeah, well, last night in the truck, you could really rotate the bottom pretty well, or at least I could. The Xfinity car did not want to do it as well, just because of the center speeds being higher in the B car up top. So it was really difficult to pass tonight. You basically had to be on a tire advantage, otherwise you're just not passing if you know they're halfway decent. So it was just one of those things where you just had to play out the strategy, and unfortunately with how the cautions fell tonight, there was hardly any strategy that you could do because we couldn't get green flag runs. So it's honestly a miracle that I even finished third, but I will absolutely take that after tonight.
I mean, look at the bright side. We get to do it again next week at 5 Flags. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, we'll see. I think I have to work, which is going to make me really upset, because that's probably where it's my time to shine, right? But we'll see as the week goes, and hopefully I'll be back either next week or the week after.
Anyone want to give a shout out to here then on that note tonight?
Yeah, I want to shout out Smith's Race Development, Ryan Pelfrey, teammate, and you guys for putting on a great show.
Congratulations on the run tonight.
Thank you.
River Hayes gets himself third spot here tonight. Tyler Stevenson, different tire strat, ended up finishing second despite not leading a lap. He's with Jacob.
Hey, Tyler, how you doing, man?
A little surprised that I got that finish, but we take it. It was a very rough day, but a little bit of luck, a little bit of wreck avoidance, and a good tire pit strategy got us up to P2. So we'll take it.
Hey, you started second and you finished second. You watch this sport long enough, and everything comes full circle eventually. And that's exactly what happened here today. A lot of ups and downs in the middle of this race. A lot of equipment issues, failures, all sorts of things, even a phantom caution / green flag incident down there on the back straightaway. But the thing I want to talk to you about, what was the thing that you used to kind of keep you going throughout a tumultuous and chaotic race like this one, where so much calamity, so much bad luck was coming your way since the green flag dropped? How do you keep going when things get tough like that?
I mean, you just got to lock in. You got to worry about yourself. I mean, I was just worrying about myself. Wasn't worried about what anyone else was doing. I'm just, you got to run your race, and you just got to put laps down, make the right pit calls, and just hopefully you avoid the chaos. And that's what ended up happening at the end of the race. So I definitely had a lot of bad luck at the beginning, but was able to get, a good run at the end there to get up to P2. So it's just locking in and, focusing on yourself is most important.
Absolutely. And obviously, with the way that the cautions kind of happened tonight, pit strategy wasn't as big of a factor as it normally is. Granted, it's a short track, so it's not super common for that to happen. But tell me, how did the tire advantages feel, and how did the equipment conservation go throughout the course of this race?
Yeah, at the beginning, I was pretty trying to tire save, but we just kept getting cautions, and it throws you out of the groove. So I was like, maybe I just got to go for a short run there. And with about 40 to go, I see River coming down. I'm like, I'm in like 7th, 8th, or I don't remember exactly where I was. I was like, you know what? Let's come down and grab some fresh tires and see if we can make something happen. There was a lot of people already out of the race and on the lead lap. So I was like, I'm not going to lose that much. Let's get some fresh tires and try it out. It ended up working. I ended up probably killing my tires a little too much going through the field. I got into the 32 there. I got super loose. I wasn't trying to get into him, so I'm going to apologize to him on here if he's watching. So, but besides that, I mean, it was just pretty aggressive. And then we get up to P2 after the 8 and the 4 took each other out. And it's just, I'm trying to get by Christian as fast as possible because I think that's the only way I could get by is early on when I still had some good in that tire, but I kind of just used it all up. And then once he kind of got clear, I was like, okay, let's just try to get a podium at least. And luckily, the other 2 guys kind of got into each other behind me, which allowed me to just kind of cool down and just, ride it out, which was nice.
Yeah, you were doing a great job fending them off up until that point. Final question I got for you, right? Obviously, Tommy Ryan was a pretty decent comeback and, score himself a top 5 when everything was said and done here today. How do you guys feel about the team's chances at taking the team championship here?
I mean, I think I'm by myself on my team, or I only have like a couple other people. I mean, I couldn't really be. I wasn't full time for the beginning part of the season, so
okay, gotcha.
I am full time now. I just had another league conflict, so we'll be running the rest of the races as long as I can. So that would be nice. I'm just trying to get good results, trying to win at this point. I mean, I'm not really too worried about points, but maybe I can, if I get some miracles, maybe I can get my way into the playoffs. But I'm just going for wins, and we almost got one tonight, but. I mean, I think I had only like a top 10 car, and I think I squeezed out a pretty lucky podium in my opinion, but we take it. So, well, hopefully it goes to some bigger tracks because I'm better at those. But, if I can get some good result on these short tracks, I'll take them.
100%, 100%. Well, Todd, that's all I got for you. Anybody you want to give a shout out to? Set you off?
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of by myself today. I did have, 7 wasn't there, but then he had his wheel difficulties at the beginning in the 15. So he kind of left early, and Jonathan was in there. So they kind of left early. So it's kind of just by myself today, but I'll thank y'all for the broadcast, and thanks Morgan for stepping in the race control. It definitely was a nice fresh breath of air in the race control. So, take those, and yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
And, thanks for my sponsor. I gotta get my sponsor, Team Watson Racing's head up. Got to get them. Yep.
You always gotta
make sure we get the sponsors.
Yep. Contractual obligations. Yep, absolutely. Right. Congratulations on the run, ladies and gentlemen. That was Tyler J. Stevenson, and the 98 car finished second.
Yep, thanks, guys.
So Tyler Stevenson coming away P2 here tonight. The race winner, though, Christian Barnes, first win of the season. Were you expecting that?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, nice. Might be having internet issue. I might be having internet issues. Sorry.
Okay. Try this one more time. Christian Barnes, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How are you feeling about the win?
Oh, my God. I feel like this one's even more exciting than the trucks. I don't know how I was able to hold this one off for sure. I mean, just wow.
I mean, first of all, what was kind of reaction when you see the chaos reign up in front of you and you had to dodge what ended up being the race-winning move as the top 2 basically collided with each other?
Oh, yeah, I knew that was going to happen after a couple laps. And really before the restart, they were already dooring each other just under pacing. So I kind of knew something was going to happen. And the 4 started dooring me up the track. I'm guessing he was trying to make sure he cleared me to get back to the 8. And I'm pretty sure y'all saw it, but I gave him a bump because, I mean, I'm not going to be pushed around like that. It's not going to happen. I get that he was mad at the 8, but, don't door another driver for it. But once he got up there, I was like, oh, well, let me just sit back here and wait for something to happen. And they just wiped each other out. So I was like, all right, I'll take the lead from that.
So in that regard here, overall, how would you describe in terms of the way this track flowed for you? You mentioned the trucks, for example. What made this circuit click for you this weekend or this week?
I don't know. I mean, I've never raced here. This was the first week that I've raced here. I raced the ARCA series. And I feel like the ARCA series is probably the best series, just overall grip. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I just figured out the strategy, really. I mean, I definitely wasn't the fastest car today. I feel like I had maybe top 5 speed. It was very difficult to pass and move to the field, unless you were possibly River. I mean, he was ripping the bottom so well. I don't know how he's able to do that, but I was just able to pick the right strategy, pick the right time to take tires, and once I got the lead, I just was able to hold on.
So on that note, any shout you'd like to give here for this race here tonight?
Yeah, well, shout out Gavin Hinson, my team owner, and all the guys at Waterforce Racing. I want to thank y'all for broadcasting. I will be watching it back later. And I want to thank Morgan for being race control tonight. He did a pretty good job. I know that we had that little issue with that caution being green and just all that weird situation. But overall, I thought he did a pretty good job tonight.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Christian Barnes gets the job done tonight. I'd like to thank him and everyone else for taking the time to speak with us during post-race coverage here on Green Flag. Well, Jacob, that was wild. It lived up to the name. Your final thoughts on tonight?
I mean, only at short tracks, baby. That is the reason we love them. Like I said earlier, you never have a normal. And this was definitely one for the book. It's one of those things you just never forget. And it's going to be a race that we look back on very fondly in the future, present, and gonna be great. So, but that's pretty much all I got.
All right, on that note, it's just about time to say goodbye for tonight's coverage of the Caswell Glass Company Series. Next time out, remember, we'll be racing at Five Flag Speedway. That'll be a Thursday night race once again, 8:30 p.m. start. Be sure to tune in on Green Flag TV. But on that note, it's time to say goodbye for tonight's coverage here from Irwindale. Jacob Kohler, for our producer Howie Burrows, I'm Justin Prince saying so long to the rest of your evening. You've been watching tonight's coverage of the Mystic Racing League. We'll see you next time when we go back to the state of Florida.